Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's your boy, the Wrestling Classic, Justin here, and I'm here with none other than the legend himself, Tito Santana. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, thank you.
You know, you're one of the greatest Intercontinental Champions. You don't get the recognition that you get. What does it mean to the win there on Intercontinental Championship?
Well, it was a life-changing event when I beat Don Morocco for the title at the Boston Garden, and it really changed my life. And you know, I ended up doing pretty well.
That's awesome. Another rivalry you had that was really popular, and that was one of my favorites of all time, was against the Macho Man, Randy Savage. He actually defeated you for that title. Do you have any Macho Man stories?
Well, Macho Man, you know, you can't deny the fact that the guy turned out to be one of the best ever. You know, I enjoyed wrestling with the guy. You know, too bad he had Elizabeth, and Elizabeth gave him the gimmick. And,
You kind of cheated, but you know.
Yeah.
I think you had him. I'm pretty sure you had him. That was in the Boston Garden too.
It was in the Boston Garden.
That Boston Garden, you won and you lost there.
That's right.
Let me ask you this: what's your underrated favorite match of your own that for yourself? Like, what's the match you love that you had that you think doesn't get enough credit?
My feud against the Hammer Valentine.
Yeah.
It was the longest feud in the history of the WWF. And to win the title back in Baltimore in the cage match, you know, was an unbelievable feeling.
Yeah.
He beat up the green belt.
Yeah.
I took the green belt home. I had it in my gym for about 10 years, and then I threw it in the garbage.
Why would you do that?
Stupid.
Let me ask you this. You obviously were around when there was a young Bret Hart and a young Shawn Michaels. Did you expect them to get as popular as they did when they were in the tag team?
No, I didn't expect either one of them, but just like myself, you know, in time they grew and they became fantastic workers, and you know they ended up having a great career. You know.
How did you feel about Bobby the Brain Heenan's commentary?
Well, Bobby the Heenan was a good friend of mine,
Yeah.
and kind of like Jesse the Body also. Back then, the more those guys put you down,
It was good, yeah.
Right.
It made the fans want to get behind you more.
That's right.
So there was some funny calls back in the day. I don't know if they would fly today, but they were funny back in the day.
Well, Jesse the Body, Don't Call Me Chico, my
Yeah.
book, I'd go to arenas and the fans were calling me Chico. They used to piss me off.
Yeah, Chico Santana, I
Right,
remember.
yeah. And then I didn't know, but I didn't realize that Jesse the Body had been, during the commentating, was calling me Chico.
Yeah.
And, you know, turned out to be a good thing
Let me
for
ask
me.
you this, where can people get this?
Well, they can get it, reach out to me on Facebook or
Instagram.
and I have them, and you know, I'll mail it out to them. If they're in the States, it's $35,
Yeah.
and I pay for the postage.
Oh, there you go. That's very nice of you. Yeah.
And if out of state, it's more because you know, it's pretty expensive to send something airmail overseas.
Fair enough. How old were you when you started wrestling?
I was 27 years old.
27? So let me ask you one last question and we'll wrap this up. If you would have talked to 27-year-old Tito Santana that got into wrestling, took his first bump, went to go train, do you feel like you made your younger self proud?
Yeah, I did. I mean, because I wasn't a wrestling fan when I started wrestling. I just met the right people that brought me into the business, and yeah, I mean, I had to learn how to crawl, then walk, and then run, you know, and I had help along the way, so it's been good to me.
Let me ask you one really last quick question and we'll wrap this up. Is there someone in your career in the early days that you think doesn't probably get enough credit or their flowers that helped you a lot, like an unsung hero?
Probably Terry Funk.
Okay.
You know, Terry Funk, I played football at West Texas State. Terry Funk played football at West Texas State.
Yeah.
The family was owned the company there, wrestling, and he would always come to our practices, and that's where I met him.
And that's how you got in?
And he helped me along, yeah.
That's awesome. Shout out to the Funk family. Rest in peace, Terry Funk. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure doing this. And everybody, check out Tito Santana on social media and get the book.
Arriba!
Arriba!